Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today is going to be another exciting day because we're going to prepare the Corvette before we go to drifting. So we're going to pick up the car from JC Fabworks and drop off to Protune and get a dyno check to make sure everything's sweet, engine's all good, everything running smoothly, and we're going to bring it to the track next time and just going to give it a go at drifting. So I just thought I want to take a little bit of time today. I want to tell you guys the backstory of why the C6 Corvette and what's the story of this C6 Corvette and what do I think is going to be a drift car, good drift car. So long story short, I'll start why I chose a C6 Corvette. So I've been to Japan many times, running Drift Academy Japan, and every time we go there we usually bring Dyno to the track for a guest coach, and after that or before the actual trip we usually go to his workshop to check out his amazing drift cars in the workshop. However, throughout the years he's been upgrading his fleet. He always building the best drift cars in the world in the series. So in the last couple of years he started building C6 Corvette. So I think he has a lot of influences from American side, and also like the manufacturer or the workshop SGK in Europe produce a lot of good parts for their car. So it's kind of like almost ready for bought on parts for a Formula Drift level or a D1 GP level drift car. After going to his shop so many times, since then, I always thought about having a C6 drift car. But apart from that, I really like American cars, and I have been running LS engines from day one pretty much. Because from factory, Corvette come with a LS engine, so you don't have to worry about the engine transplant, you don't have to worry about all the plumbing side of things, all the wiring side of things, and how this doesn't fit that. You have to custom-made drive shaft and figure out where the gearbox is going to come out of the tunnel. So all the things you have to do with a what do you call an engine transplant, you don't have to worry about any of those bullshit. The engines come with this car and it's gonna run with this car, and we know it. If we don't want to run a separate different engine, different LS, it's gonna bolt in. We just need to do the wiring. The plumbing side of things is exactly the same. Apart from that, the same LS engines, this runs transaxle, so the gearbox is actually at the back of the car. So when the gearbox at the back of the car, it brings real good weight distribution. So I'm not too sure the exact numbers, but I think it's pretty close to 50-50. So yeah, the transaxle is going to be a little bit different. We are used to having the gearbox up front with our LS drift cars, but this car, the gearbox at the back, we don't have to do anything because the mounting, everything is factory, so it's already there, so we don't have to do anything. So literally have a C6 drift car, the engine and the gearbox and the diff, everything is there, so you don't have to do any fab work, you don't have to do any plumbing side of things to get it going. Apart from that, you probably will need a set of good suspension, make sure the diff works, probably get a hydraulic handbrake that will lock up the rear wheels when you want to go drifting. I think that's going to be pretty much it. And in general, the shape looks amazing too. The C6 curves, and especially the Z06 fenders, the white fenders, the flares, and everything looks amazing. Other than that, I think it's a good platform to start with. A little bit awkward for me or for anybody driving right-hand drive. The car is actually left-hand drive. So that's the only thing. I think I can get used to it, but also that brings another sort of challenge that I want to actually drive more of the left-hand drive. I don't drive as often as I want in China. Those cars are left-hand drives, but also that's good for my Chinese customers or friends. They're coming from China to New Zealand, they want to experience some drifting here. They can come to Evergreen Drift Park and just bring the Corvette out, and it's left-hand drive, it's V8. It's proper drift car, and they're gonna be really like it. I went to SEMA probably the year before last year, and I was searching around there and trying to find a transport to ship it back. But just as I searched around through California or the surrounding areas, I've actually found one in New Zealand. That's actually quite rare. There's not many of those cars on the road here in New Zealand, and they're actually quite expensive. However, this car is listed on TradeMe. It's just like a New Zealand's version of eBay for sale. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna jump in and have a look. It seems quite reasonable priced. So what actually happened to this car is this car was very nice road version C6 car, come from, you know, originally imported from the States. I probably only have done 20,000 to 30,000 K. It's very low K anyway. And it is from South Island of New Zealand. It's beautiful red color. It's such a nice car, I would say. But however, this car was on fire for some reason. So it must from it could be from you know, electronic side of things, or it could be from fuel. Who knows? But this car was on fire and pretty much burned the whole front off. When I say that, it sounds really dramatic, but actually it's not that bad. So it seems like the panels has been on fire and is really bad. And as the Corvette, they come with all fiberglass parts. Those parts just melt, and so the fenders is no good. And the fire actually is pretty much only on one side, on the passenger side, which is, you know, because this is left-hand drive, it's on the right side, which is the passenger side. So the guard is melted off. The doors was a little bit burnt. On the other side was not too bad, a little bit hot, and the engine looks alright. Everything looks alright. You know, but the factory radiator and stuff like that, the wiring, obviously it's all gone. I thought, you know, the engine's there, the gearbox is there, you know, the chassis is there. I can just always get some panels and bring the car back to life. So around a year ago, probably just over a year ago, I bought it. Bryce shipped it back from Wellington. I got it shipped from where it was from Nelson, right? From Nelson, South Island, shipped to Picton, and they took a ferry over to Wellington, and so Bryce drove down the trailer and bring it back. So it was a long drive, and we were quite excited to see the car actually parking in our workshop. So we rebuilt the motor and spent quite a bit to get all the aftermarket parts. It had a cam as well, upgrade all the drivetrain, the chain, the adjustable cam gears and stuff like that. So we got all those. It started runs fine, and we had a quick dyno, and it seems alright on the dyno. So we decided to bring the car to the track and have a little bit drift, or just have a bit test. So when the car was delivered to the track, there was a knocking sound coming from the lifters, and it was quite loud, and I didn't do anything, just shut the car down, bring the car back to the workshop and park it. And since last time when we parked it, probably almost half a year passed, and I decided now we need to do something. So instead of like opening up the motor and find out what's going wrong, give it a good clean, rebuild it again, I really just don't really want to go through that. So I've sold that motor as it, and have bought another motor and chuck it in. Car seems runs fine, and we're just gonna pick it up, get Protune to dyno check it and make sure it's safe, and then we're gonna go for another test. We have just arrived at JC Fabworks and going to pick up the Corvette. That's the workshop. That's the man. Bit fun with a Corvette, eh?
Yeah, man, heaps.
So that's the car right there. We'll check out the car. Over the New Year period, we were working on the engine and swapping a few things around, and the car's pretty much done. I'll show you guys just the outside. It's not 100% complete. It's still missing the side skirt. I took them off because I wrapped them in carbon. Also missing the front lip, which is make the bumper looks quite high. But the car and the color and the Z06 wide body, I think the car just look amazing. Here we go. I really like the flare, the like real gentle, subtle flares in the front, and the scoop is a lot bigger in the Z06, and that's a Z06 rear fender as well, so it looks so sick in this Nardo grey. Moving on to the inside, it's a left-hand drive, of course. These are the side skirt I was talking about. So they are like ABS plastic or something. It's real fragile, so wrapped in carbon, number one, it looks good, and also maybe keep the pieces together. That's a little bit there. So this piece was on fire. So this car has a hard life. Check out the rear. That looks so tough, right? We made this real simple subtle tow hook, and also this real subtle checkpoint. The factory, I think this is actually not a factory exhaust. This is probably a aftermarket one. It looks a little bit factory from this end, but it definitely have aftermarket from the mid pipes, and it sounds real good. So I can just be able to slide the jack under there and jack it up the car, change the rear tires. So over the front we have painted the headlights matching the color, Nardo green. And look at the bumper, same way. I already have a crack before you even drifted. The stance of it looks amazing. After that lip goes on right there, it's gonna look sick. Alright, here's the engine bay. The bonnet opens from the front. Pretty simple. Everything is factory pretty much. So being with a V8 inside a V8 car, everything just bolts in. So we just swap the motor, and we run the oil catch tanks, a couple of things, and we had a custom huge radiator with a factory style fans at the back, and just plumb it up. It's ready to go. So pretty much we are going to start the car up and load the car onto the trailer, and we're gonna head to Protune. Oh, sounds so good. I love the V8. And this exhaust from the C6 is amazing. So we're gonna load the car up right now. Gonna guide him into it. Oh, it's good to see it rolling. Probably need a clean, but just look at it, it's amazing. Ooh, this close. And also the mirror is pretty much on the table. Can you still get out? Or we probably need to remove the top. It might be easier if we remove the top.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep. That's the best part about this car, right?
Yeah, tell me when you're 6'7".
Just jump out.
Yeah.
Good. Perfect.
Lovely.
That's like a convertible. And the Corvette is loaded up, ready to go. And by the way, I have removed the old liveries of the trailer. Now it's just time for a refresh and put Drift Academy on it. But after I remove it, it has heaps glue. So look at it. It's quite sticky. It's got all this shit over the trailer, so I have to remove all those glue as well before I chuck new livery on. It's gonna be fun. We have just arrived at Protune, and Wayne already got on it to work on the Corvette. So first thing, he needs to unlock the computer so that it runs, and also this was an auto computer, so he needs to change that to menu and drop a different map in it. Probably maybe for a Dyno check. He did say it's gonna be pretty straightforward, so we're just gonna maybe do a Dyno check rather than a full Dyno run. But first we're just trying to unlock everything and make sure the car runs on the ECU. And we were running on this ECU and we swapped back to our own one, so gonna make that work with us. The Corvette now is in the dyno room, and Wayne's in the seat, is ready for a couple of pulls on the dyno. And usually with these, we not usually go for any peak powers, we usually just go for a safe tune. We know when we bring the car to the track, it's gonna be safe, it's gonna be reliable, we can drift all day. And that's always been the philosophy behind our tuning. I'm sure we're gonna have so much fun bringing the car on the track. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. See you guys in the next one. That was loud. That was very loud, and the V8 sound is amazing. So once again, subscribe our channel and see you guys in the next one.